Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GoSmack webinar series this afternoon. I'm Tasha here. Our topic for today is indeed an interesting topic, especially during this recovery movement control order. I would like to first and foremost congratulate every one of you who have taken the wonderful initiative to learn a new skill not only for yourself but also for the good of your organization and also for the clients. Before we kick off with our first presenter today, a few quick reminders so that we could learn and enjoy today's webinar without much interruptions. Please remember to mute your mic so that your secrets are not being by all of us. Please do keep calm and stay connected in the event that we have any internet interruptions. Please show your love and encouragement to our two young presenters who have worked very hard to prepare this webinar specially for you. Kindly check on your microphones and speaker setting in case if you can't hear our presenter's voice. You can check on the More Option button with three horizontal dots which is located in between the chat button and cross button in red. Or else if you can't solve the problem, you can right away drop message in our chat box and our technical team will guide you. We would like to invite all the participants to join on our Global Business Network WhatsApp group. As you can see, we have provided the QR code to join on our GBN WhatsApp group. And the main objective of our GBN WhatsApp groups are to learn, interact, and participate in our webinars and activities conducted by peers, industry, and top leaders. And the second one, get access to webinar links, mentoring resources, and get some support. Third one will be get the material of our presentation. All our materials for our presentation will be posted in our GBN group. And the fourth, the, to get information for future webinars. So kindly join us on our GBN WhatsApp group for the updates. Last but not least, for those who want to become our GoSmack marketing partners or you want to have a discovery call with us to get more ideas, you can sign up the registration form using the link that our team will post in our chat box. There are two links for you to sign in. The first one, if you want to sign in for a discovery call, and another one is for the partnership. You can fill up the details and submit to us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. With that, let me introduce our first presenter, our young and restless and always talented Mr. Danny. Over to you, Danny.
Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to our webinar of today, this afternoon. I'm Danny here. Today I would like to share how to digitalize your field force management today. As for today's topic, we have 4 key takeaways. The first 3 key takeaways will be presented in the theory form, which is what is field force management, why business should leverage on field force management, and how to digitalize your field force management can help your company. And lastly will be presented in the demo form, live demo, which is how to start your field force management today. So let's enter the presentation with the first key takeaway. What is field force management? So our GoSmack provide different type of cloud CRM to handle different type of situation, including video CRM, reward CRM, referral CRM, online and offline CRM, marketplace CRM, survey CRM, visit CRM, and contact CRM. But today our main focus will be on field force CRM. To understand what field force management is, we must understand the aspect of it. So there's 2 things in the field force management. the first thing that we want to see is field service, because field service is one of the most important aspects of field, field force management. If there is no field service or field sales, there is no field force management. So what field service is? Field service is a process of managing your assets and resources that are deployed at customer, public, and third-party location. When we talk about the assets that are deployed at customer location, it included air conditioner service and or the telecom service for your modem. For example, because the aircon is located at customer location, the technician must arrive at your house to repair or service your air conditioner. So this is what we call field service. They need to come to your house and provide service to you at your current location. But how about public location? For example, when we are driving outside with our car and notice there's a pothole on the roof or traffic light are malfunctioning, we can also contact the relevant departments to fix these public properties because it belongs to the public. And when there is a problem, so we can also be responsible and contract them for us to fix the problem. So when they are repairing the traffic light or the pothole, it is also called field service at public location. So how about the third party location? Third party location is the location that does not belong to customer or the public. So what can be the third party location? For example, a warehouse. A company rents a warehouse for storing their products. So technically, they don't own the warehouse. So this can be considered a third-party location. If there are any device or accessory that require a service from a specific field, for example, the electricity is not working correctly. So you contact the electrician and request him to serve you. So they are providing field service at a third-party location. So this is how field service work. Other examples of the field service like telecom, as I said just now, like TM, Telecom Malaysia, Unify Thai, when they come to your house, like install the internet connection for your house, is called a field service, which belong to telecom. Other than that, it also includes utilities. For example, as I mentioned just now, electricity. Water and natural gas service also count as a field service when they come to your house and replace the gas tank for you. We can also have healthcare field service because some of the patients, maybe they are inconvenient to walk around. So it will be better for the nurse or the doctor to visit them, which is provide the treatment at the patient's location. Or also an example that I stated just now, incident. A pothole on the roof or the traffic light is malfunctioning, you can ask the relevant department to repair it. Of course, there are also other field service like air conditioner service, but I'm not going to list them all here. So we kind of know what is field service now. So what is field sales? Field sales could be another aspect of the field force management. Compared to field service, field sale is more like outside sale. It's a process by which companies visit the list and sell to them in person. So, for example, insurance, they sell their insurance contract by meeting you in person. Field sales representatives typically work for B2B and wholesale organizations whose sales process rely on relationship building and long-term contract. For example, the insurance contract. It require relationship building and long-term contract. So this is how field sales is. The example of field sales including insurance, as I said just now, and also door-to-door selling. They arrive at your house and try to sell their product to you. Other than that, there's also loan provider like the banking. They discuss with you about the loan. So this is the example of field sales. So we know what is field service and what is field sales. So what is field force management? So field force management is to manage the service or the sales, field service or the field sales that you provided to the customer. But if you are an individual staff member of your job, you probably are not going to have field force management because the only staff that you want to manage is yourself. But what if you are working under a company? This is where we need a field force management. So for example, field service workflow. This is the one of the normal workflows for a field force management. First of all, the customer requests for service and tells the relevant department what the problem is. So once again, let me bring this example up. Aircon is malfunctioning. So the relevant department will have an admin to monitor all this. After they receive this request through a phone call, maybe the customer, he called the air conditioner company to help them fix the problem. So the admin, after he received the task, then he needs to give another phone call for his staff, which means the admin need to assign the task for his staff. So the staff will receive the assigned task and start completing the task. So after the staff has completed the task, he has to update the customer and the admin just to report what he completed. For example, request for aircon service on the first step. And then the second step is the admin. He received the request and assign the task and schedule the task for the staff. Last, the staff complete the task and then he need to update to the customer and the admin as well to report that the job is done. But based on this workflow, it is not digitalized. This workflow involves a lot of manual work. For example, when a customer requests services, the admin has to assign tasks for his staff and also record down this request into his database. So when the admin does this, there might be a chance to occur human error because maybe it's because of paperwork, he need to write down all the information manually, or even if he use the computer to type all the information into a database. So if there's a lot of tasks that he's receiving today, then one of them might be human error because too many tasks and too many manual work. So it might occur when there's a lot of requests coming in. Other than that, they still need to contract their staff by using phone call. So it's very time consuming and not the most efficient and effective way to complete a workflow. So all of these work steps can be prevented and digitalized. So what is a digitalized field force management, which is manage your field service or field sales in digital way? Field force management tools help you to stay control all the time. So it can automate what can be automated and leave only the most human interaction left to your staff, which for example, we can't really let the machine or mobile application to fix the aircon. So it's what we left, the most human interaction. So what can be automated? For example, generate and store data automatically in database. So we can actually generate and keep a record for all interaction and important data within a database. So I will explain further in the later slide. Second, management visibility is enhanced. So all the important stakeholders, all the relevant persons are well informed, and managed visibility is enhanced. Third, staff status, which is staff that work on the field and is intended to make their and your work more streamlined, transparent, and easy to track. So at this one, I also will explain further in the later slide. So let's start with the first point. What can be automated? For example, when we talk about generate and store data automatically in database, the first point is the transaction data. So we don't have to do the things manually. We can store all the information like payment amount, sale receipt items with field force management digitalized automatically. Second, like task information. So we need to let the customer self-service themselves. So you don't require the customer every time when they need to submit a task, they need to give a phone call to the admin and ask them to record down all the information, and admin still have to provide this information to the staff via phone call. So it is very inconvenient and time consuming. So this requires a lot of manual work and it is not recommended to do that. Other than that, when you let the customer self-service themselves, so it will remove the hard work from the admin. So it will also prevent the human error because he don't need to key in or write the task information by himself. Other than that, we can also have customer feedback. So it's also self-service. Customer can also provide their feedback to the company directly by using the field force management tool. While all the feedback is being generated and stored in the database, so you don't have to, like again, give a phone call. But when you submit it through the field force management tool, it will automatically store in the database. So it will not disappear because of the admin, maybe he forget what your feedback is. So it always there. You also can give a rating after the worker complete the services for your request. You can also give a complaint slip, or you can also conduct a survey for them. So all of this will be generate and store all the data in the database automatically. So this saves a lot of manual work. Second, management visibility is enhanced. So important stakeholders are well informed and management visibility is enhanced. So for example, notification. Just now we keep talking about phone call. Everything when the customer requests for service, you need to call the admin. When the admin need to request his staff to complete a task, need to call the staff. When the staff needs to report his job is already done, you need to call the admin or the customer, you need to update them. So all of this can be removed. It's the really long workflow. You need to have a lot of phone call. It is not good, not effective, not efficient. So we can have notification, which is whenever there is a task requested, generate notification. When task is being assigned for staff, generate notification. When the staff update the task information, generate notification. So you just need notification to notify your customer, your admin, your staff. You don't have to make a phone call every time. It will save a lot of time for both merchant side, and customer side. Other than that, task visibility also being reviewed. For example, as I said just now, maybe we want to report a pothole on the road. So after we report it, there's no way, right? Because the pothole is on the road. It's not near to our house. We can't really check it all the time. So we maybe we can have a few force management tools that review the task status. For example, pending. When the staff submit the request, it will be pending. After the admin, he saw the task and assign the task to his staff, the task status will be processing. After the staff complete the task, then he will mark the task status become completed. So the customer can check the task status by using the technology. So he don't have to be there, go to the portal all the time to check whether the pothole is already repaired. You also can check which staff is responsible for that specific task so that you can always contact them. So this is how we call management visibility is enhanced. We can trace the task status all the time as a customer. The third is staff status. So right now the staff status is if because the staff and the admin they are not working on the under the same workspace. Maybe the admin he work in the office to receive all the call and stuff, while the staff need to be outside to service customer at customer location. So to trace the staff status, you cannot ask the admin call the staff every time, right? For example, the admin need to call the staff and ask him, what are you working on right now? Is the last request done already? So it's really a lot of time consuming. So to make it more transparent and easy to track, the first thing is we can have a staff location. So the field force management tools reveal the current location of the staff, so the admin can trace it. So the admin don't have to ask him where you are, where you are. Other than that, the admin can track where the staff is. So if there is a task, maybe where I have two staff, staff A and staff B, I saw the staff A is closer to the task, then I assign the task to staff A. So with the staff location, I can do that. So it's easier for me to track, easier for me to make decision. Other than that, the staff can update their own status, for example, on duty, break, or heading to destination. So that admin can trace the staff status. As I say again, you don't need to trace the staff status all the time by yourself. It require a lot of manual work. So we can digitalize all this work. So right now, if we enable digitalized field force management for your company, because a field force management tools is a godsend for to companies. So why don't we do it? We can enable it by using our technology and platform, and we will demo it later. So why should business leverage on digitalized field force management? The first thing is workflow standardization and simplification. Let's start with simplification. When we talk about simplification, as I say, you don't need to have, have a phone call all the time. It's really time consuming. So right now, you just need a few clicks to do it, whether it's assign tasks or update the task status. A few clicks, you can do it. Second, we have a standardized workflow. So we make sure every work, maybe, if we don't have the digitalized field force management, different person can have different workflow standard. So maybe this admin wants you to WhatsApp message him. when you complete a task, but another admin want you to give him a phone call when you complete a task. But with the field force management tools, you can standardize all of it. You don't have to maybe you two way to complete the report. It's just one way, so it is standardized. So second is monitoring and analysis, so that you can trace the unfinished task, or as a customer or as an admin, you can also monitor the process. For example, the task status is being reviewed all the time, pending, processing, to completed. Third, we improve quality of communication. So you can actually let the worker and admin to share the same platform, because as I said just now, the technician and the admin is not working under a same workspace. So it's very hard for them to communicate. That's why we have a lot of phone call just now. So if we have a platform for them to communicate, for example, assign task, receive task, update task. So all is using the same platform, it will be convenient for all of the staff. Other than that, it will be semi-autopilot, means the system has a lot of automation. For example, generate the data and store the data. So you can actually just let the system run on its own, so you don't have to bother it too much. Other than that, it's also cost saving. You don't have to key in all the data by yourself manually. For example, as I say just now, the customer request, they can just self-service themselves. They don't need to ask the admin to enter all the data for them. So it will also reduce the human error, which is a 6 point of why should business leverage on digitalized field force management. System automation can actually prevent the chance of errors occur. So why we need to change the way that we do the business? One of the reasons is the business of the world is entering the new normal. In terms of this, the business needs to adapt to the new way of doing business. So we need to learn how to survive. For example, change the way of doing business, digitalize our business, because our physical business is maybe it's not that popular anymore. When we talk about survive, it's the first S of the 3S. We need to have 3S in this new normal. The second S is sustain. After we change our way of doing business, we will determine whether we can sustain it or not. If we can sustain it, then we can maybe succeed from it. So for the new normal, it's all about shifting from the old normal to the new normal. So we need to survive, sustain, and succeed if we want to be success in this new normal. So the first shift that I want to talk about is the from local to global. So if we look at the world today, when your business start going online and digitalize your physical business, it also means that you are competing with more business. So you need to stand out from them. So you need to have a powerful management tools to manage all the things for you, and try to make as many things as automated possible. The second shift that I want to talk about is man to machine. As I showed just now, there's a lot of manual work being skipped. All this work can be automated, so the requirement of man workers will be getting lesser, because all the work can be replaced by the machine. The shift number 3 will be limited hours to 24/7. Obviously, not all the field service is working 24 hours. No staff is going to come to your house, repair your aircon at midnight. But with the field force management tools, you can still let the customer do the scheduling or booking after the working hour. For example, they want to schedule and book a time for aircon service tomorrow afternoon, but it is already late night and the working hours are over. But with field force management tools, you can still make the booking. So this will be the shift number 3. So let's enter the third key takeaways, which is how field service CRM can help your company. So the first point is real-time GPS. The customer can provide the correct address for the system to capture. So the worker, the staff or the technician can navigate to the destination. Other than that, the customer also can check how close the worker is based on the current location. Second, portability. The staff can upload and update the task instantly after completing a task. So he don't need to, again, make a phone call. So he can update the task everywhere. You don't have to go back to the office and inform his admin, I already completed a task. No need, you just need to update the task after you complete the task by using the field force management tools. Second, workers also able to receive task information everywhere. So even the staff or the worker is outside of the office, is still able to receive the task and don't need phone call. You just need to be notified, the notification. So the third is you can use a mobile phone to issue the receipt to the customer email. So the field force management tools also can help you to understand your business better, because also, as I said just now, you can collect the feedback from customer and understand them better. Other than that, the data processing will be more accurate because we get rid of a lot of paperwork or key in the data manually. Even if we key the data by using computer, it will also occur. It will also has the chance to occur human error when there's a lot of receipt coming in, a lot of tasks coming in. Other than that, we can also increase efficiency through the field force management tools. The simplified workflow allows the worker can focus on their work better because they need to just click the field button to update the task. No phone call need, no communication time wasted. Other than that, we can also schedule and plan better for each worker. So we can also analyze the weakness of and enhance the process. For example, maybe you see why this task taking the whole day to complete. So all of this has the recorded, for example, the task starting time and the task complete time. You can analyze through it and see where is the problem behind it. So we can actually analyze the weaknesses and enhance the process. So that will conclude my introduction to Digitalized field force management. Right now, I will hand it over to the second presenter of the day, Mr. Tay. He will bring us and go through the demo of field force management tools. So I will conclude my speech here. Before that, I will hand it over to our MC today, Tasha. Thank you.
Thank you for the sharing, Danny. Hope you have enjoyed and learned from the first presenter as much as I do. We will now continue with the second presenter of today's webinar. To share with us on the second presenter, let's put our hands together to welcome the one and only 3D Mr. T. Over to you, T.
Okay, thank you, Tasha, and thank you, Danny, for his sharing on digitalize your field force management. So, as stated by Danny earlier, sharing, if your dream on beginning your experience in starting your own first field force management system, we at GhostMap will help you make it a reality. It can be ranged from telecom to utility to healthcare and other related field services that you communicate with people working on site, like the vehicle maintainer at the side of the road, or fixing the pothole on the road itself. Even insurance door-to-door selling or loan provider are part of it. So with the versatility of the field force management system platform, you'll be able to build your field service. So you do not need to worry about the coding knowledge, nor hosting costs, as we will help to provide the software solution to help get you up and running your very own field force management system. So without further ado, so as you can see, for those who already have the account, there's another additional field force management where you can click into it and view the available template that is provided here. So while this is a field force management system, these are the template to showcase how it looks like. Okay, when I click into here, so basically it will help you to explain what it's about, the real-time report, if depending what information you'd like to include on this site itself. And then next will be we click on the services. So as you can see, it can range from those services like plumbing or source code electrical services. So these are the example of those field service available in the market that people can offer. The cleaning service, where people require to be on site to work on something. So first, let's say we choose for the air condition services. So here, you can include the pricing of how much it costs for the service here, and then the rating. And then here, the description. You can explain what their service provider, like how long they've been working on, and explain in detail what other service they provided, but not just involving the repairing, but also the cleaning, installation, and everything. So you make it clear that to the audience, the consumer, that it has what they need, so that once they find it is suitable to what they need, they can add it to their cart. So once confirm all the detail, then they can just check out. And the next thing we'll do is they will have to provide their detail and their address, so that the services know, the organization know where they need to send their technician or staff to the site to start providing the service. So once they cover all the relevant detail is completed, they can choose what sort of payment they want to make, either make here or they can pay on site, and then they can just place the order. Okay, once they done make the payment and everything and provide the detail, and next the form will lead them to the appointment page, which as you see right now here, to further confirm the detail everything is corrected, the address, so that when you submitted, it is corrected, informing the staff to head to this following location to do the service. So once confirm everything okay, then you can start choosing the time when you want it's convenient for the service to come over to their area to start repair their air conditioner. So let's say I chose 12 p.m. So I create the appointment. So as you can see, the system will notify the consumer that they found the technician for the services, and this is the detail of the technician name, the detail, just in case by chance if they haven't arrived, then at least we can contact this following detail to ask where they are, in case they're facing some trouble trying to reach their location. Alright, so next, all the detail have been captured. So moving on to So once all the detail is captured, so now I log into the back end to show you the data uh, that was submitted by the customer. So first, here you will see the list of the staff that are available for hire on the job. If available, then you will be assigned. And then here you can see that under the job, it's the detail that I submitted earlier at 12 p.m. Where it's convenient time for them to come to this following address to fix the air conditioner for the air condition service. So all the detail already been captured, the job detail, the customer detail, and then as well the technician, so that the administrator can start monitoring the status. So by trial, so roughly take how long it will fix and so on. So next, I will move on to the point of view of a technician staff that being assigned the following through their mobile app. So just a moment. So me as a staff technician that are always on the standby, so I will receive a notification regarding that there is currently a job available. So now I open the app and then I can see this one available job right now, which is assigned to me, which is at 12 p.m. as earlier as you can see the appointment that was made. So I click on it. So I allow the device to access the GPS services so that I can start using the GPS feature. So as you can see, now I am the staff. Now I giving the detail what time is the appointment and then the contact detail of the customer, so that in case there is any additional clarification that I need, I can call the mobile number just to confirm what's the issue they're facing and so on. So and then next, once I confirm all the detail, I already grab all my stuff, all the required tool, everything. I will start heading to them by clicking on the direction. So as you can see, earlier I set the Waze as my default app that will send me to the location. You also can set it Google Map. It also will bring you there. So once I confirm the direction, I can start the job. So now I can head to that direction if in case I know where is it, so I don't need the direction, so I can just click back. Okay, now assuming now I'm on my way, then after a few minutes, 30 minutes, I finally reach the location. Then I can start clicking on the check-in so that I can inform the administrator that I have arrived at the on-site. So now I will begin my service, helping to look into what's his air conditioner issue and so on. So now I'm in the house, going to start my service. So before I start, I will take a picture of the damage that occur or malfunction, so that in case once you've done the repair right, is satisfied and everything is working already, and then you leave the area, but suddenly after a few days it suddenly damaged again, it's complaining that our service is not sufficient or not satisfied. So at least you have some proof that the damage is to this extent is already but when you come back and check is different this time. So at least you have proof that it's not supposed to be like that. So here it's just a evidence that what's the extent of the damage or how much effort that you need to provide the service. So you can snap more than one picture. So just in case you have much more to show later on. So once I confirm everything is okay, so now I can start working on it. So at the end of the day, once I done the service and everything, so now I can click on the finish job. So now it informs me that I have successfully completed the service. And then next, you can ask the customer to scan the following QR code. And this QR code will lead you to another form that will request the consumer to provide their feedback regarding the service, to rate the satisfaction of the service being provided, so that at least from the data collected from the feedback that you collected, you can start improving on it in the future, or form the discussion so that we can together, the organization can help to tackle this problem in the future as well if some new issue arise. So in case you're interested, you can scan the following QR code and see where it lead you to. So maybe I give that 1 minute. So, so with this digital form, you don't have to have a physical paper, which it's quite a hazard. So on the side, you ask if you had to carry the form, and then at the same time you feel the form might get lost or get spoiled, and then at the same time you also sometimes people don't have the tool to write on it, so you also need to bring your pen and everything. Other than that, once the feedback is already filled in, you still need to carry it back to the HQ to give it to the staff so that they can document it. So it's quite a hassle of as you can see. So with this digital form, the customer can immediately give the feedback and everything, and then submit it, and then it immediately recorded live on the back end so that it can be viewed in the future. Okay, so uh, after I before I leave, so now this one is after the repair photo. So after I provide the services, of course I want to take the picture stating that I already completed my services. So now you have the before photo, now you have the after one. So you can just snap a picture uh, to show that you have already completed your duty in fixing the air conditioner or installing it, or whatever that you need to do, so that at least they don't have a reason to complain that he or she did not get the required services. Okay, so then once you confirm everything is okay, then now you can move on to checkout. So awesome, now I already checked out, so it's done. So that's that's the end for the staff. So now he can leave the premise and then start heading to the next task, or on standby for the new assigned task. So that conclude my demo on the app. So now let us move back to the portal. Okay, now as you can see, before that is everything is like nothing happened. So now let me just refresh the page. So as you can see now the status is already updated to check out. That means the admin knows that the staff, the technician that being assigned already completed his job, and then when he started, and then what time that he checked in, and how it took to finish the job, so that you know that uh, you can estimate his skill level or the difficulty of the situation trying to install or fixing the issue, and then the checkout time he leaving the premise. So, and then here you can see all the photo, the before, the damage that might cause to the let's say the air conditioner. So because this I don't have air conditioner, so I just simply snap picture. So this is a before photo showing the extent of damage that's assumed, and then this is after I already done fixing it. So now you can hide so that you can see, and then here's the feedback. As you can see, this is a example. So all the data now captured now, you can start reviewing it, and then plan accordingly. Like maybe if it like why it took so long for the staff technician to get the job done and so on. Maybe he lacked the skill, or maybe there's an issue, so that you can clarify with the technician. Based on the feedback, and then from there onward, you can start planning maybe future further lessons so that you maybe these are the new technicians that are lacking in experience and knowledge, so that you can guide them only to provide so that you can help to increase their skill level and their knowledge, so in the future they can provide a faster and more satisfied services. um, so yeah, okay. Okay. So this is how powerful our field force management platform, as I showed it, as this just part of it. In the future we will further enhance it. So as it is currently is ready to go, as well with all the available CRM module shown by Danny earlier, besides the 8 CRM as well the e-marketplace, other services. So, but if there are other additional service that require, like the payment gateway or the delivery services, we also are quite flexible in integrating these services. And we also already have those gateway like FPS and JohnPay. While at the same time, the delivery services we integrated with Mrs. PD, Skynet, and then but in case you have your own service third party, we also are quite flexible in integrating this service into the platform itself. So the whole end-to-end ecosystem for the field force management system is ready for you. Now you just need to figure out what sort of field service that you wish to start with. You just have to know what specialty, just like what my colleague Danny has shared earlier. It could be for telecom or to utility or to healthcare, based on what you offer, your organization offer, so that you make it clear that to the audience that that's what you offer. And then so as one say that efficiency and productivity are probably the biggest enabler of field service success, but they aren't the end result, because more than two-thirds of the field service executive say that the customer satisfaction is their number one goal. But that shouldn't be a surprise, since the whole point of showing up on time, working efficiently, and having the right tool, example, the practice of the field force automation, is to serve the maximum number of customer in a way that to improve their loyalty to your organization. So that from and then additionally, here's another template that I want to show, like the cars, like the service maintenance is also another example that okay, so it's not feeling there. So this example, the car service maintenance, the working similarly, like how I showed you earlier, like the aircon services, that I show how the process work from the consumer perspective. They make the appointment and then moving to the technician who receive the notification regarding the assigned appointment, and then to the back end where it's a bit hard for me to click on top of the because of sharing. Like earlier, I show you the all the feedback, the photo evidence of showing you have done your job and then how long it take, and then from there your company can decide how you're going to improve the service. So that conclude my live demo on how what to digitalize your field force management. So our platform now is ready for any business or entrepreneur that want to start digitalize their field force, and we are happy to and ready to be your partner. So as for the cost, it depends on how you wish to run it. We are very happy to partner with you. So you can just leave your contact detail through the link, the discovery call form link in the chat that was shared, and we will have a discovery call with you to gather the requirement, and then based on the appointed date. Yeah. So now I will hand it over to the NC, Miss Tasha. So thank you for listening.
Thank you for the sharing, Mr. K. Before we proceed with the Q&A, I would like to remind again for those who still not join our GBN WhatsApp group, kindly join us using the QR code. Even if you have, okay, yeah, the QR code is already on your left hand side. Just scan it, and you can right away join on our GBN group. So now let's move for the Q&A session. Audience, if you have any question, you can right away drop your question to our chat box, or you can unmute yourself, your mic, and you can ask us. Yeah. As I can see here, there is a question from Sir S. Palan. Who are your public sector customers for service maintenance? So our team, could you please answer Mr. S. Palan?
I'm just curious to find out, do you have any customers in the public sector?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Mr. Palan, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Not yet, because as you probably know, the field force management we just launched it. So the technology, the platform behind is similar. So it can be applied to whether it's public sectors or private sectors. Not only that, the field force, I believe our team, Danny has mentioned earlier, it could be applied to field sales as well. There's two portion of field force management. A lot of times when people think about field force, straight away just think about the service part of the field force, right? But in fact, field force actually has two portion of it. One is field sales, for example, for the banks, for the mutual fund company, for the insurance company, right? Where a lot of times the field sales are actually out there doing the selling, especially right now, we're hopefully back to the recovery mode. The field sales team can actually go out to do more sales. And at the same time, it's a lot more efficient for the management to be able to coordinate all the field sales activities. Plus, at the same time, be able to the platform can be used for field sales as well. I hope that answers your question, Ms. Palan.
Yeah, just curious, for insurance companies, typically they would have their own agency system, right? This has to be integrated or to
Yes,
their.
it can be integrated. So I believe a lot of the insurance agency system is probably a lot of them are tracking in terms of the commissions, probably their leads and stuff like that, but not when they're out there, right? So for example, if insurance agency, you have 100 agents, so depending whether they are paid or they are commissions or they are totally freelance. So definitely freelance, there's no quote unquote, there's no, I guess, requirement for them to be able to track by the agency. But if you're part of the agency field force, the agency definitely have every right to know where you are because they're paying you, right? Whether you are doing sales or not. So they can actually be able to, whenever there's a leads comes in, they can actually automatically feed into whichever agent is available for that particular time slot. And then they will be able to track the movement as was shown by Tommy just now, in terms of what time, where, and even the customers while waiting for the agents to be arrived, they can actually easily track where the agents are right now. Are they very close? Are they, while the appointment is at 12:30, the agent is still like 1 hour away. So that all this thing can be on a real-time basis without wasting anyone's time and without reduction in terms of efficiency, also effectiveness.
So this would be suitable for those who have their own agency, not attached to, let's say, AIA or the big ones, right? Here you're looking at those who are running their own agency as part of the big umbrella.
Right. Because as you know, managing of your field force in terms of agents are also a big task. A lot of times it's a very manual right now. Yeah, especially once it's out there. I would assume a lot of times most agency doesn't even know where their field force are at any one time. So we can actually provide what we call SOC, the Service Operations Center, where and the headquarters, they can actually see all, it's like a map where all the locations of where all the agents are at any one time, if that's needed. The same thing with the field force. I think a lot of service company probably don't even know where their service people are at any one time. So if you say, hey, ABC company ABC, you have 100 field service team supposedly in Klang Valley, right? Do you know where they are right now? Are they on the way to the customer service? Are they late? I think those are the questions, very practical questions that you ask any of the biggest company in the country, they probably won't even have an answer for you. Hopefully that answers your question as well.
Yep. Thanks.
You're welcome, Mr. Palan. Yeah. Any other questions? If it's not, because it's already 4 o'clock, we don't want to hold anyone else. But if you do have any questions, we'll be very happy to set a special time with you for a discovery call so that we can actually work with you and understand your requirement for your field force management. Yeah. Okay. I'll pass over to Tasha. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Okay, hopefully today you have known digitalize your field force management. Thanks once again for joining us this afternoon. We hope you have enjoyed our webinar as much as we have enjoyed hosting this webinar for you. Before I forget, for those who still not joined our GBN group, do not forget to join us, our team in our GBN WhatsApp group. And the QR code is already in our slide. And for those who want to become a GhostMac marketing partners, and if you want to flood us for a discovery call, the links are already posted in our chat box. Kindly check on your chat box, and you can just fill up and you can send it to us. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So remember, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, and in every crisis lies great opportunity. We look forward to seeing you again in our next webinar. Keep this spirit up, stay safe, keep well, and we will see you again. Thank you.